good. I'm good. Did you get all of your things uploaded?
I believe I got all my forms. I just don't know how to do the earnest money.
Oh.
Because it's an email. It's like just an email, not like an attachment or a PDF.
Yeah, you can print that email to yeah, hold on. You can print it to a PDF. Hello, Amanda.
I can.
And then just download that and upload that to your opportunity.
Oh, I don't know how to do that. How to take the whole email to make it to
up in the right. Are you on Gmail?
In the Keller Williams email, yeah.
Yeah. Okay. So go to the right-hand side. Open up the email on the right-hand side. There's a little printer icon.
Okay. Printer icon. Hold on one second. Okay. I'm gonna minimize you so I can see my screen.
Sure. Look at that little beautiful child.
Hi, Diana. If we go away with video, it's because I'll be moving around with her. But
yeah,
I'll still be here.
No problem. No problem.
Hi, Diana.
Hi, Pumpkin. Oh my goodness. Okay, Beth, do you see it on the right side?
Yeah, I press the print.
And then it says destination.
Yeah.
Go ahead and click on Primo PDF.
Save as PDF. Oh. Okay, and then then it pops up and then I save it.
Yep.
And then it should be in there.
Yep, and then you're good to go.
I have never done that before.
Yeah.
Cool.
That's how you print an email or print a PDF or all that good stuff.
Did you know that?
What did you do? Because you're not going to remember that.
You just go, like you're in your email.
Yeah.
And then, let me. Right here. And then it's one of the options in the pull down.
Oh, okay. So you just print it as a PDF, save as PDF. Okay.
Yeah. Cool.
Cool.
You can do it.
I did not know that either. That's awesome.
That's why you're here. You're learning all sorts of resources.
Oh my God. I'm like learning so much. My head is exploding.
That's good, right?
All of a sudden I get to a point where I'm like paralyzed. I'm like, wait, hold on a second. I know I've done this before, but which do I go right, left, up, down? Right.
All right, you guys, it's just about noon. I'm going to, do you think we should get started or do you think we should wait for 2 more minutes? This is a new one. I'm not sure how many people are going to be jumping on here.
I don't care. I was just actually watching the KW Connect and like looking at the videos that they have, the training videos for the creating opportunities and moving through the opportunity phases. So hopefully I can implement that so I can learn how to move my person that's still under the appointment phase and really they're under contract. I can't get them moved over.
I can tell you how to do that quick, or you can go to YouTube. And I've been taking something called the Command 66-Day Challenge. And I believe maybe day 18 specifically talks about moving your people around in your opportunities on that pipeline.
On day 8, you said?
I believe it's 18, but let me check
18.
real quick.
Because I'm like, oh, because it's on the, he's all the way to the end of the first phase, we'll call it, but I can't jump them over.
Also, on my market center this morning, it said that this meeting was supposed to be at 11.
Oh,
yeah.
Really?
Yeah, but then like on the schedule a few days ago, it said that this was supposed to be at 12. So I don't know if people tried to get in and then they were like, oh.
Got it.
Not happening.
Okay. Well, we'll just have a small group and we'll do what we need to do and move on. And we'll fix out that schedule thing. That's unfortunate. But we'll figure it out. Thank you for letting me know that. And I'm just going to go ahead and get started because actually, or did you get what you needed, Beth? You good?
Okay, yeah, we'll find it.
So it's day 18, I believe, but all you have to do is hover over the, the one that you created in the pipeline and you'll see a little hand. And when you click, You
And you
can
drag.
drag.
Oh, even across, like from one phase to the
Yep,
other?
you can do phase to
Oh.
phase and stage to stage.
Oh, okay. Because I did that within that phase, but then I guess I couldn't quite get it across
Yep,
the
just
border.
move it up. Yep.
Okay. Okay. Thank you.
Okay. Okay, you guys, here we go. Properties. So I'm super excited to be having this conversation with you, and I know it's a small group, but that's good. That means I can get feedback. We've talked about making sure that this is a monthly thing. So if everybody here wants to go ahead and unmute themselves, part of this is a conversation. Thanks, Chris. What we experience when we come to KW, and I've seen this, I experience this myself, I've seen this with new people coming in, I've seen this with transitioning agents, is that there's so much that KW offers in terms of training and resources that often it's very hard to navigate your way through the process. And absent kind of a roadmap of how to navigate your way through, sometimes it just becomes really frustrating and you kind of throw your hands up and move on. So my goal with our time that we have together is to help lay out what some of the resources are that KW offers, and then also create a framework that I want our people to start thinking in, so that when they do come up with a problem that maybe they don't have a resource for immediately, they know how to then find the resource for themselves. Does that make sense?
I agree completely.
Okay, awesome. Awesome. If you guys have a question at all throughout this, or you want to add something, please feel free to do that. You can, we have the chat box that I can be watching, and there's also the little raise your hand icon. I am an interactive teacher, so I really like it when people can interact with me. This new format is different. So certainly if you have something to share, you want to do that with everybody, let's make that happen. So I'm going to start with a little fun video I found yesterday. So I'm going to share my screen, and we're going to start with this. So hold on just 1 second. Screen 2. And share.
This looks cute. We can't hear it quite yet.
Better?
Yeah, it's coming.
Yep.
Thanks. Oh.
Okay. So you guys, I love that video, and one of the reasons I really, I wanted to start with that today is because it's how I think about problems, right? It's how intractable they can be, how it seems like there may be no solution, and sometimes the solution is kind of button right up against you, or it's right in front of you. And you have to slow down long enough to get the resources you need so that you can leverage all of the tech around you and all of the assistance around you, and then get going and make progress. So I like to think of that video as an example. Sometimes we get so entrenched in what we're doing that we can't even see that the answers are right around us. So this is all about answers and resources. So when you get overwhelmed, think of our little video and how our people solve some problems. So the first thing I wanted to do is resources. This group actually just exampled some of the ways that we do resourcing here at KW to begin with. So when we logged on, we started having a conversation. How are you? What did you finish everything you need? Did you have a question? And one of our people actually had a question about doing something. And there are 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 of us on the video. 2 people had suggestions for this person. This is how you do something. This is how we can help you with. So your very first source of resource at KW are the people around you. They're your colleagues, they're your team lead, they're your leadership. So make sure that when you get stuck, you don't stay stuck for very long. There's somebody somewhere who has been in your shoes and can help you navigate the answer. Now, sometimes you get stuck late at night, or sometimes it's not convenient to be reaching out to people and talking to them. So then what do you do? And how do you get the answers that you need? I'm going to show you what I like to think of as kind of systems thinking. And in this regard, KW Connect is your very best friend. There's no way around it. So how many, by using the little raise your hand option at the bottom, how many of you are familiar with KW Connect?
I am.
I got a thumbs up from Beth, Katie. You guys can unmute and talk too. We're an awfully small group. Amanda, have you used KW Connect? Ooh, I've got a chat. No, okay, Chris, no?
No.
Okay. Okay, so we're gonna start there. And you guys, this is really, really your best friend. I'm gonna share my screen again. And I'm gonna show you, screen share 2. Okay, share. So are you familiar with this? This is the KW intranet, and you get here by going to mykw.kw.com.
Yep.
And there are a couple basic resources here I want to show you. I have a handful more than you may, just because of my role within KW. I'm not an agent, but so I have access to some different reports. However, super powerful page here, and one of the first ones I want to show you right down here on the bottom right of your screen is something that's called the white pages. So if you wanted to reach out to somebody in your market center, or maybe in another market center that you're not a part of and you don't know how to get a hold of them, this KW white pages is literally like an old phone book that has everybody listed throughout KW. So let's say you were interested in asking me a question. You didn't know what my contact information was. You just knew that my first name was Dianna. You go in here, you type that in, and then you hit search. And literally, these are all of the Diannas. So not sure which one I am. You look here, and then you can see these are all the roles that I have. You're pretty sure that you're talking to somebody in Lake Country you know very well. You can click on this person, and this is my information, right? So anyone you want to find is accessible through here. So that's one And that you find on this main page here, right? That's just down here in the white pages. So up here, this is also another great place for you to be looking at. If you go to, let's go to marketing first. When I first started, one of the questions I had was, how do I make a branded piece? What do I do? And this was before Command was available. This was before Designs was available. I didn't know what to do. So if you go here under marketing, there's a whole section on logos and brands. So you can download, this is actually where you can download files. Who's done this before? Are you guys all familiar with this?
I feel like I did it before, yes.
Okay.
I've done it
You
before.
might have, Katie. It might have been one of the very first things you did because it helps you design your website and start using designs. But if you ever had a question, let's say you were wanted to get t-shirts made or wanted a logo on something, where do you find that? You can go right here to find that. So what I want to encourage you guys to do, the reason I'm kind of going through this little by little is that if there's a question that you have, I want you to start using these pages as an answer source for you. All of our trainings, what you guys have seen, they're on the Connect Live schedule, right? Is this how you guys have been logging into your Connect, the downloads and whatnot that you've seen?
I have,
Yeah.
yeah.
Yeah, I've seen
okay.
some.
Okay.
Dianna,
So
how did you get from mykw.kw.com to Connect?
I'm sorry, honey, I can't hear you. What was that?
How did you get from the intranet to this Connect part?
Sure. So when you are on your intranet,
Marketing, yeah.
you can go to marketing.
Oh.
There's also a way that you can get there by going through command. So if you're in your command, here's the other way to get there. Wait for a minute so that you can log in. And there might have been an issue because I'm logged in twice. There we go. Okay.
At the top too.
Okay, so here we are on our in command. If you log in,
At the top, right?
yep, connect
Okay.
right here. You want to go to connect. And this right here is a forum where you can, so these are all of my different groups where conversations are happening. So this is one of the places that I can go to get some different information. You can see different ones that are of use more. The labs is far more active than the team leader one. I think the team leaders use the Facebook page. But this is something that'll be growing. It was launched with command. Down here, right here, is where I go to my intranet again. So this is just another view into those same pages. So I hit KW Connect, it takes me right back here. Make sense?
Yes. So only marketing from MyKW, no other tab?
Not sure what you mean by that.
That's okay. Just when you were at the MyKW, you specifically clicked on the marketing. So just
Actually,
wondering.
no, let's go back there.
Okay.
There are a ton of other things that you can be looking at that MyKW. Technology, this is also how you can get to command. It's another way to get to command. If you're in education, wait a minute, oh, let me go back here. If you go to education, this is another great place to start. It's Keller Williams University. They have different kinds of courses you can take, different resources, strategies for a shifting market. So you guys want to be poking around in here just in terms of how do I make this work? What do I do for myself? And the other tab that I really wanted to spend most of the time on today was this resource tab. And if you haven't yet, you can go to Welcome New Associates, and it actually walks you through different things that you can be doing to get you up and running as as an agent. So a lot of these resources are going to be reinforced through team meeting and through different kinds of training. But I like you to know about them because there are times when you want to be moving ahead with something and maybe the training on it doesn't come for 3 days, or maybe you can't download the training for some reason that you're interested in seeing. How do you access it on your own? You can just go look here and you see all of these different things you can do. This also gets you to next steps in branding. Let's say you're a new agent and you've never done a listing before, and you have a listing in 4 days, and 2 days from now you have a meeting with your mentor and you're going to be able to sit down with them, but you want to come with a little bit of grounding before you've done that, before you have that meeting. You can always download the listing presentation or the buyer guide from here. It's going to loop you right back to Connect or to Command so that you can see how to edit it within the Command system within Designs. If you didn't know, there is a way to sign up for health, vision, and dental insurance here. So, and then down here, these are people that are people and organizations within KW that we recommend kind of connecting with, so that you can see what's happening in the company, and you have different resources, different people that you can watch their videos or see if they've uploaded a presentation or a speaking engagement, that kind of thing. Make sense?
Yep.
Awesome. Okay, so if we go back to resources, I'm going to hit on Connect Live, and that's going to give me my live schedule. These are your live streams and the different ways that you can set up your watching platform so that, you know, especially right now, I've talked to a couple people, they're like, what should I be doing right now? I don't have a great big sphere. I don't have business going on. I'm brand new. What do I do? As you're time blocking your day, make sure that you're taking time to be looking at the live streams that are going down. It gives you a great foundation on how to get started with KW. And then this is one of my favorite features, this search bar right here. And this is part of like systems thinking for you guys as you're working through your process and building your business, right? We want you guys here to be building businesses. So what does that mean, and how do you get started, and how are you thinking about that? And part of that is like, again, if you come up with a question, you're not sure how to move forward, and you're not sure when that training's going to start or be, you can start here, right? So let's say you have a buyer consultation coming up, and you want to see some of the things that have happened across the country, across the company that can help you be your best as a buyer. What's going to happen is that you put your topic in. It's going to go to our database and see everything that's ever been said or built or designed around that particular topic. And now you get to direct your learning to see what you need to make things worthwhile for you. So this link right here, if I were the one who was doing this, that would be something that would be of value to me. There's the buyer and seller guide. I'm going to look at that. This may be something that's really interesting, one family helping another. Maybe that's a story that talks about what the buyer is, that might get my brain thinking about how I want to be working with buyers, right? In this day and age, we need to know how to work Zoom so that we can work with buyers virtually. So that may be something that's high on my list of things to do. Oh, and there's helping buyers in the market of the moment. So you can kind of see, just by taking my topic and what's of concern to me, and I'm sitting in my house, I'm by myself, I don't know what to do next, except I know that I have this meeting coming down the road. I can go type my topic into KW Connect, and all of a sudden I've just filled my afternoon with homework that I can be doing that's going to build my skill set for the next time I go talk to a buyer. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Awesome. Does anybody have, I mean, one of the things I like to do is kind of take a topic that somebody's wondering about and see what we can get from there. So does anybody want to recommend a topic or a challenge that they're having particularly? We can see what this comes up with for us.
So I don't know if this really aligns with what you're asking, but when you were in Command,
Yep.
you clicked on connect,
Yep.
and then there was the like all the different groups that you're in, like
Yep.
labs, and how do you add other groups?
How do I add groups from there?
Yeah.
That's a great question. Okay, let me get back there. Hold on. Now you're going to see how hard it is for me to navigate sometimes. This is why I have multiple commands open, right? Okay, so I'm going to go to connect. Yep, and it's going to take some time. So I'm going to go to connect again. Okay, here we go. So these are my groups, and what I can do, invitation sent out by you or another group administrator. Okay, I can, how do you think I join these groups? Good question. Well, this is funny because I know I joined some, but oh, wait, pending request. No, invite sent. No, inbound. Oh no, you guys, maybe we should go look this up.
I think you go to the left side. It's under the house. There's a button called groups.
Who said that?
I think.
Was that you, Chris?
Yeah, I mean, I haven't done it yet myself, but I just was navigating around and there's one, I mean, you can
All right.
create a new group, but I don't know
I
how
love
to
it.
follow another group.
So
You know
now,
what
Chris was my resource on that. Thank you very much. And here we go. I can create a new group. And this, the rest of it, look at all of these that are coming. This is kind of exciting. So when this is all built out, what you'll be able to do is look at what is of interest to you and join those groups. Make sense?
So there's not like an add group button. It just looks like there's a create a new group. So like if I wanted to join labs, is there a way that I would be able to join that, or is that if only if you have like certain access or something?
Yeah, I'm gonna go to labs and here's the members and I'm gonna invite you.
Oh, that's perfect. Thank you.
Do you want to be part of it?
I would, yeah.
Okay, let's see if I can. Katie, it's Katie Miller, right?
Right. MUE. Yep.
Is that your email?
Yes.
Okay, anyone else want to be part of this while I'm in this?
I'm in there. I've done it.
Yeah, I'll be part of that.
Okay, who said yes?
It's Jackie Spilius, so it's this J and then my last name Spilius at K.
Okay. Let's see. I think I got, did I get you, Katie? Hold on just 1 second. Let me make sure. JSPILIS at kw.com. Jackie, why isn't it coming up?
Try Jacqueline. JACQUELINE.
Thinking. I see. I don't see you. Do you see you?
No.
US.
SPILLIUS.
SPILLIUS at kw.com. I'm just going to send the invite and see what happens. Let me know if that comes, okay? And I will say, actually, I love that. I love that we just did that. And I love that I didn't know how to do it and you guys figured it out together. And I think that's, you know, that's a power of the KW group, right? Is that we all work together, we figure it out. And that's certainly something that I've experienced with KW. And the other thing in terms of systems thinking that we're talking about, design thinking and problem solving thinking, all of our systems are designed in such a way that you cannot screw them up. You can't break them. You can't, there's nothing you can do that can't be recoverable here. So as you're wondering, how do I become a part of that group? What do I do? click buttons. That's one of the first things that they told us when they were launching Command, is that you want to start poking around and see what the different buttons do to get you to the answer that you need. Does that make sense?
Yes.
Mhm.
Okay, awesome. So what other questions might you have that we can have an example of that, of navigating your way through the KW system? What else might people be wondering?
For me, this is Chris McKinney. For me, I am taking that 3.0 66-day challenge for Command.
Yeah.
So I'm probably about a third of the way through it.
Okay.
But I was curious, I know there's education within Connect as well. Do you do them in tandem? What is your suggestion?
It's a great question. And one of the things that I find is that the 66-day challenge is going to give you tangible, practical things right away.
Yeah.
And the education, I mean, I guess it kind of depends on how much time and what your ultimate goal is. The education pieces that come through Connect are really valuable, but they might give you they might not be like an immediate, here's like, click on this button to get this next step.
I think that's the thing that I like about the 66-day challenge training the most, is they give real life examples. So as he's training, he'll then say, for example, this is how I would do this. And I'm a very visual person, so it helps to be able to apply it to what that means, why I would use that action or tool.
Yep, for sure. And I think that's another, so the other places outside of Command and outside of Connect to be looking for resources are YouTube. That 66-day challenge lives on YouTube right now, and in a couple different places. The Keller Williams YouTube channel that lists all of the trainings has been super helpful. And then Facebook has, I don't know, 1,010 groups right now that talk Keller Williams things. And that's one of the things, I think that's one of the ways that Keller Williams can be super helpful and a little bit overwhelming. So you really kind of have to know when you're in those groups what makes sense for you and for your goal, and then what is kind of all of the pieces that you're going to be growing into, or all the pieces that will make sense down the road. So for my new people, one of the things I really like to say is we're going to put you're going to be focusing on developing your business, working with your buyers and your sellers. And down the road, you're going to be learning about, perfecting your craft, all of the other pieces that assist you in building a good business, building a really big business. But let's nail the fundamentals first. Expose yourself to all of the things that Keller Williams is offering. And if it doesn't make sense now, know that the more time you spend with it, the more time it will make sense down the road. So if we go back to my KW, one of the other things that I think is really kind of helpful for people who are in the business is one of the things that we do on Tuesdays is go over different market reports, different reports of how our industry performed, how we performed within the MLS, and then how the different market centers performed within the MLS. That comes from different reports. And one of the reports that everybody has access to is their multi-year trend reports. So has anybody gone to this section on their dashboard?
No.
Okay. This is another place, again, push all the buttons that you have and see what you can come up with. We have all sorts of different things that show you how you're doing. So for example, the multi-year trend report is something that we have by market center, but we also have by agent. So for example, Beth, after your transaction that you just got this accepted offer on closes, you'll be able to see that our systems capture that information and keep track of that, and you'll be able to track that. So this is what a multi-year trend looks like, and you'll see your market year trend by closed units, the volume, the listings taken, listings sold. So you can really dig into your business anytime you want to, just by pulling up this report.
A question with that. So if we're a team,
Yep.
And all of ours are supposed to be under a rainmaker, but there were a couple that for some reason closed out elsewhere that we have to get adjusted. Would we have to get that adjusted somehow in KW too?
I think once that information feeds off of the reports that we have in KW, so it should all link together.
Once we fix it in MLS?
I believe so.
Okay.
I believe so. Not 100% on that, but.
That's okay.
Yep. So you can see how kind of when you're new, the resources that you need are things like, how do I do? What is the next step? What, how do I enhance my skill set? And then once you're kind of grounded in that, you have this whole other level of information you can go to that helps you build your business, right? What comes next? What is my listing buying ratio in line with what I want it to be for my business? Am I getting the correct ratios in terms of expenses and cost of sale and profit to run a profitable business? We have all of those tools here for you. And that's something.
I have another question for you. Mine's a little bit of a unique situation. I am new to the industry, but I have my agent's license, but my role within the company is not agent side, it's over the operations side.
Sure.
And so I'm trying to get my arms around, and I've been tasked with getting the JSG team shifted onto Command.
Okay.
And so not having ever been in .loop, Commissions Inc., and all these other systems that they're currently pairing together to use right now.
Yeah.
It's difficult to understand what they have and what they may not get in Command and understand how to tackle those obstacles, so to speak.
For sure.
So I'm wondering if if there's good team lead resources where I could talk to other people beyond maybe the Market Center and Lindsay, who's available for those type of questions as well. Because I know she's super busy coming right back from maternity leave. So I'm just curious to know from that perspective, could I use the white pages in a way to resource other teams?
Yeah, for sure. I mean, there's, first of all, let me speak from the Market Center. Lindsay's never too busy. That's her job.
Okay.
And we want to support you. So please ask her. She's going to be your most direct. And if she doesn't have the answer, she's going to source it out to somebody else who does. So, so there's that. And we're all about that culture of sharing and support. So you can definitely look up, if you knew a name or a region, if Janine said, we're modeling ourselves after this mega team and they've already rolled onto Command, go ahead and reach out to them. You can find their contact information through white pages.
Okay.
If you wanted to find a mega agent or different models of those teams, you can always go. I find that Facebook has a lot of different groups that can support you. So what you might want to do is use the search through Facebook and see what kind of groups there are out there.
That's a great idea.
Yeah, or even look at what mega teams are out there and see what their operations are. There's also a mega team in Chicago that we know they're the guys who came and did the presentation.
Yeah, Josh. Was it Josh? Yeah.
Yep. So if you're KW or if you're operations for Jay Schmidt, then you just reach out operations director to operations director and say, hey, I'm trying to figure this out. Can you help me? Have you been there, kind of thing. So
perfect. Thanks so much. Appreciate it.
Of course. Yeah. Yep. So, and then here's Keller Williams University. And it talks a lot about, I think one of the other pieces that's so great about Keller Williams is that there is a place for you and there's education to help you get there. So if you're on a team and you're wondering kind of what's my growth pattern, how do I go, what's next for me, or how do I perform my job at the highest possible level, this is one of the places where you might want to spend some time. You can see, obviously, again, here's some technical pieces of my job supports that you can go to. different lunch and learns that you can be looking at. There are all sorts of resources. So if you're somebody who are super interested in training, if that's something that you're really good at, you can look at what it is to be an approved trainer in Keller Williams and how do you grow your career and your business within KW itself, and what supports do they have there. And then this is one of the other things that I like to go over, because one of the things, right, we're talking about all the things you can do. You're going to grow your business. You're going to look at different ways that you can grow your career. You're going to be reaching out. You have all of these live streams to watch. You have Facebook feeds to follow. How do you stay organized, right? At least that's my challenge. I don't know if that's anyone else's. How do you stay organized and focused? We talk a lot about the productivity, right? And the 411. Has anybody heard about a 411?
No.
I have heard about it, but I have no idea what it is.
Okay, awesome. So basically, 411, it says it right here, stands for you have 4 weeks in general, 1 month, and 1 year. We want you to understand what you need to get done. If you set a big yearly goal, we're going to break it down into months. What do you need to get done every month to reach your yearly goal? And then what do you need to get done every week to reach your monthly goal? Because you can put a big goal out there, and if you're not working on it every day, there's a very good chance you're not going to make progress on your goal. So, we're one of the best productivity companies in the world because we teach how to be productive. And there are ways you can download these tools. It talks about developing your annual goals, so then you can break down what that looks like in a month, and then you record every week. Like if you're an agent and you need to build a business, one of the things you need to be doing every day is prospect. Well, that can get really hard unless you're looking at it every week. And that's your number one thing on your calendar. That's your number one thing in your 411. And then you can see how you're progressing towards your goal based on doing your 411. So this is what this looks like here. Hold on, it's opening on my other screen. I'll take this over here. So if you know what your annual goal is, you enter that here, and now you're going to have 12 of these pages. So for like right now for the month of March, our goal is just kind of to get through this quarantine, right? But you can be we're making care calls. So you're going to break your database down into the people that you've identified you're going to be reaching out to. And your weekly goal for week 1 is I'm going to reach out to 40 people this week, or purple this week. So you're going to be doing that, and then you're going to have that every week, right? And then at the end of the week, you're going to look how many people did I actually reach out to. Let's say I only reached out to 20. I'm going to edit my week 2. Now I don't just have my 40 people, but I have my 40 people plus my 20 people. Does that make sense?
Yes.
Okay, awesome. So then I have a really successful week 2. I've reached all my 60 people and then some, actually, because I was just super motivated by the conversations I had. Now I get into week 3, 20 of my 40 people I've already contacted, so I only have 20 people left on my week 3. But week by week, week over week, I'm keeping track of what I've done and how I'm talking to them. At the end of the month, I've reached my goal. And now I know I've moved my yardstick, moved my little piece forward to meeting my annual goal. Because of those 40 people I've talked to, 2 of them have said that they either need to sell now, or once things start to settle down, they really need to relocate. They're going to need my help. So this is just one of the tools that helps to keep us on track. And these productivity tools, you'll hear this talked about over and over again. These were all developed out of the One Thing mindset and the One Thing book that Gary Keller wrote. that if you focus on one thing, your one domino that knocks that next domino over, that next domino over, and all of a sudden you've achieved great things. But what we want to do is focus on what's that one thing first that you need to do to achieve that great thing goal. And these are all found under education, the productivity, the productivity resources. And they also have an online tool too. So if you're somebody who's working on a team or working with people, working with a partner, the 411 is a great thing to have a conversation together so that you each know what you need to do to work towards your goal. Or if you're working for somebody, you want to identify your goals and then tell them, these are the things I'm working on every week. And I find it's a great conversation. It helps you have that conversation because certainly when you're on a team and you're in a support role, it becomes a great place for things to gravitate to, right? I have these 12 projects and here comes a 13th project and I'm excited about this 13th project and I have all of the support staff and they're going to help me with it. So I'm going to come to you and say, hey, Chris, I have a great project for you. So your answer to me is, that's fantastic. What on my 411 do you need me to remove so that I can get to your great project, right?
Right.
It's all about that productivity tools, all about those productivity tools. And that, I will say, is a great reminder to me, oh, right, we sat down and said that this was your yearly goal. This 13th project has no place in that yearly goal. So I'm going to shelve it until we're done. It was a great idea, but it's not a great idea for right now for you. So this page right here, I think, is super helpful for you. This 411 productivity tool kind of helps you think this through. So one last resource I want to make sure everybody is aware of is also the podcasts that we have developed as a company and as some of the kind of rock stars within the company. Gives you great ways to kind of ground yourself in the learning that is KW. And there is a One Thing podcast, and it goes over how to use these tools. There are interviews by people who have used these tools at a really high level. They've achieved remarkable things by being able to chunk out what it is that's super important for them to get done every day. It's helped them achieve really nice work-life balance. So you might want to look at, it's called the One Thing podcast. Another podcast you may have heard of, it's called Think Like a CEO, and that one is with Gary Keller. And we like to recommend that one particularly because our job as Keller Williams brokerages and market centers is to help you build your business, right? So as the market center, we're the home for your business, Beth, and for your business, Katie. So we want you to be building your business acumen so that the business you're building is super successful for you, for what you want it to achieve. So you're the CEO of your business. Think Like a CEO helps you kind of orient yourself and your mindset so that you know how to run your business. That's a really good one. I like that one too. And then there's another one that is with Linda McKissick, and it's kind of fun. It's by these women who are super successful realtors, super successful within the KW world. It's called Everything Life in Real Estate. It's by Linda McKissick and Dana Gentry. They've built incredible businesses within the KW system. And I strongly support listening to this. They kind of talk all about, it truly is everything life in real estate, what's going on in their lives, how does it relate to real estate, how has real estate helped them live better lives. It's just a fun conversation. So different opportunities for you, different ways to connect, audio, visual, reading, learning, all that good stuff. Make sense?
Yep. Helpful. Thank you.
Okay. Awesome. There's a wide array of resources. This just scratches the surface. But one of the things I really wanted to help wanted to be thinking about with this group or people who are interested in this topic is how do I develop a problem-solving, resource-driven mindset. So, so that's why we went over the different ways that we do that. So website, book, podcast for sure, the communities that you're building, all that good stuff. So any questions?
No, not right now.
Not at this time.
Okay, awesome.
Yes. Are you working at home today?
I would be, but my little Lulu I have a dog who's delightful and wants to participate in all of my Zoom meetings. Is a very vocal, little animal. So I will be heading home right after this.
That's what I figured. I didn't think that background was your home office.
No,
I was going to ask to see you, little Lucy.
No. So awesome.
Thank you.
You guys are great. Thank you for participating in our Zoom reality here. If you have any questions or